You're watching WKYT News at noon.
WKYT News at 12:30. Barbara Bailey and Bill Bryant reporting. After months of campaigning in both the primaries and the general election, the voters finally had their say, and Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States.
It was a night literally for the history books, and Emily Smith has more.
I love this country.
It is the first few expected. Donald Trump, the first person since Dwight Eisenhower who never held office before the campaign, now the United States president-elect.
Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division.
Trump thanked his competitor, Democrat Hillary Clinton, who called Trump to concede the race but did not address supporters who had gathered in a glass-ceilinged convention center for what they had hoped would be her victory party. Her campaign advisor spoke briefly instead.
We are so proud of her. She's done an amazing job.
Clinton entered Election Day leading in national polls with what political experts said was a clearer path to the 270 electoral votes needed to win the race. Through the night, that path narrowed until it closed completely. Key states like Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina went to Trump. So did safe states like Wisconsin the Clinton campaign thought were locked up. Clinton had a night of not enoughs, winning 88% of the African-American vote, but not as much as President Obama captured 4 years ago. She also won less of the Latino, white, and young people vote than Obama had. In New York, I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Now, Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton left her campaign headquarters early this morning without speaking to the media or her supporters, later admitting she didn't know what to say. But less than an hour ago, she took the stage and spoke about the shocking loss.
We have seen that our nation is more deeply divided than we thought. But I still believe in America, and I always will. And if you do, then we must accept this result and then look to the future.
Well, it certainly was a night for surprises. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner has been gathering reaction to the election results, and she joins us now with a live report on that. Caitlin?
Good afternoon, Bill. It's no surprise the presidential race was called quickly in Kentucky. After all, we're in a state that traditionally votes red. In fact, it sided red in the last 4 elections. But Donald Trump took Kentucky by a landslide, and this is a state he didn't spend any money on. Now, there are only 2 Kentucky counties that Hillary Clinton won, and that's Fayette and Jefferson counties. Even counties that have traditionally sided Democrat did not. We've driven around Franklin County, which is heavily Democratic, and although we've only seen Clinton campaign signs, this county too voted red. We talked with Lexington Herald leader, political reporter Daniel DeRocher, who told us what this election means for Kentucky.
This is a population that's fed up with the establishment in Washington, D.C. And I mean, Donald Trump had that hashtag drain the swamp, and that's really what we're seeing. These are people who want to see change, and I think that that's part of this movement, and they went all in on Trump. Now we're going to get to put to test whether or not Republicans are able to do anything for coal country, and whether or not they're going to be able to end those regulations, and if we see any coal jobs come back.
DeRocher is also wondering if Governor Matt Bevin, who is a good friend of Mike Pence, will now have an ear in Washington. He says he'll be paying attention to how much national influence Kentucky has. Live in Frankfort, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Caitlin, thank you. And we're now 72 days from the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump.
Tuesday was a huge day for a number of Kentucky politicians. For the first time in 95 years, Republicans will now control the Kentucky State House. Governor Matt Bevin here at our studios at WKYT earlier this morning for a taping of Kentucky Newsmakers. He told us he is as happy politically today as he has been in his entire life for a number of reasons.
The thing that I would hope people understand, this isn't just that Republicans are in charge, the people are in charge. The people of Kentucky, the values we represent, our work ethic, our Judeo-Christian principles, the very motivations that we have, the desire to be gainfully employed and to have opportunity, that's what's in charge. The people of Kentucky have spoken, and they voted their values, not their party, and there's a new day dawning in Kentucky.
U.S. Senator Rand Paul's prediction that election night would be big for Kentucky Republicans came true. He'll head back to Washington for a second term in the Senate, where he says he'll keep focusing on small government. Paul easily defeated Democratic challenger Jim Gray 57 to 43%. Gray says he looks forward to getting back to work as Lexington's mayor.
And the Republican also won big in the 6th District congressional race. That district includes Lexington and the surrounding Bluegrass area. Incumbent Andy Barr had no problem defeating first-time Democratic challenger Nancy Jo Kemper. Barr pulled in 61% of the vote. In his victory speech, Congressman Barr talked about the need to reduce government spending and to improve health care. Emotions running high for some people after the election. Lexington police are investigating after someone damaged a Republican Party office. It happened about 2 o'clock this morning at the GOP office on Southland Drive in Lexington. Someone threw a brick through the door of the building. Police tell us they took a criminal mischief report. They say it'll be hard, though, to figure out who damaged the building. Well, other news now, the recent wildfires are creating a health hazard now for some in parts of our state. The Kentucky Department of Public Health has issued a smoke inhalation advisory.
Laurel County is one of the affected areas. WKYT's Phil Pendleton spoke with health officials there about the situation.
Laurel County has had an issue with wildfires over the last several weeks, over the past month or so. In the last couple of days, there have not been any issues, but I'm told that the condition of the air could pose some problems for certain segments of the population and those with some chronic health conditions. Mark Hensley is executive director of the Laurel County Health Department. He says people with asthma or COPD could have issues because of the air. Wildfires have been a problem lately in southeastern Kentucky. The air quality can be impacted days after those fires are put out. In fact, health officials are even encouraging some outdoor events to be canceled in areas with hazardous levels.
When smoke levels are higher like this, they encourage you not to burn candles in your house or have your fireplace going.
Now, wildfire smoke can impact you in several different ways. It can irritate your eyes. If you have respiratory problems, it can cause issues there, especially for those with asthma, also those with chronic lung and heart disease. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. And other counties impacted by the advisory are Rockcastle, Bell, and Harlan counties.
Stay with us now on WKYT News as we continue.
There's more news ahead and Micah's forecast.
And the clouds overhead, it is a chilly start to the day, and it's going to be a chilly finish too. Now, as we go throughout your weekend, it actually gets much cooler than what you're feeling outside right now. We're going to talk about that and that freeze possibility coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It is not the best looking day outside. We've got the clouds overhead, and it is a blanket of clouds too. So it's going to be hard pressed to actually get some sunshine down in here before the sun actually sets later on, roughly 5:30 later on this afternoon. Which means this: you got the cool air rushing on in, you got the clouds overhead. There's nothing really out there that's going to warm us up. We're talking upper 40s, lower 50s at this moment. It's 50 degrees right now in Frankfort. Lower temperature there in Lexington, and also Mount Sterling sitting there, 46 degrees. Mid 50s down south, pretty much where you're going to stay the rest of the afternoon. So it is overall a chilly day in store. Now we get in through your Thursday. Thursday looks pretty good, near average with those temperatures. Friday, pretty much the same story for Veterans Day. And average is roughly 60 degrees, so it's not feeling all that bad. If you have any plans, you look good to go. But off towards your weekend. So if you think this is chilly, 51 degrees, it's going to be the same story there for the weekend, maybe even a little bit cooler, upper 40s, lower 50s. And not only that, this is another blasting cold front that will bring us the opportunity. You got to remember, overnight and into tomorrow morning, we have a frost advisory in effect for virtually everybody. But toward the weekend, we could more than likely see a freeze watch or a freeze warning go into effect here in the next couple of days. So those temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s to lower 30s. It's going to be very, very chilly. I will say this, though. The past few days, you've seen temperatures rise each and every single model run. So we'll see. But nonetheless, we are very confident it's going to be chilly. It's just how low do these temperatures go there Saturday, Sunday morning, Monday morning. We just got to watch and see how low those go, because you get it right around that 32-degree reading, and you can hit that freezing mark pretty easily. So it's just something to watch out for in that.
Little game of limbo. How low do you go?
There you go.
All right, thank you, Micah. Well, do you have papers piling up that you'd like to get rid of?
Details about the community paper shred happening here in Lexington next on WKYT.
Welcome back in. Great to have you along on WKYT this afternoon. And here's a great way to get rid of documents that you no longer need, and you can have them recycled at the same time. The city in Lexington is holding a paper shred on Saturday.
Angela Poe and Lauren Monahan with the Division of Environmental Services are here with details on that and other things that are coming up here. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it very much. So you're talking about things that people really would rather not have out there in the general trash, right? Numbers, that kind of thing.
Yes, so security numbers, contact information, all that stuff that you don't want to get in the wrong hands.
And what will be happening at this event?
Well, people can drive up with up to 5 boxes or bags of material, and we'll have the shredders on site, and they will shred your material there, and then they recycle the material into low-grade paper products after.
And where? Where is this?
Yes, out Old Frankfort Pike, 1631. It's where we do a lot of our events, so people that come and visit us frequently are probably familiar with it.
Very good. We also have the holidays approaching, of course, and that means that collection times can get tampered with just a little bit or altered in some way.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, those with Thursday and Friday collection falls on the Thanksgiving holidays this year. So we will have a makeup day available. It'll be the Wednesday prior to the holidays. Those who are affected can look for a postcard coming soon in the mail.
All right, so it'll give you that information.
So pay attention. Be
Yes.
looking for that.
All right, so then, folks have big gatherings, and there's all this grease maybe that you have with the holiday, with the Thanksgiving particularly, and you have an event coming up on that to help.
Right, so I'm old school and still roast, but I hear that fried turkey is amazing.
Yeah, right.
So if you do that, or if you just fry or cook a lot of things and have grease laying around, we're doing a gobble grease toss the day after Thanksgiving. We're doing at Redwood Cooperative School, and folks between 10 and 2 can drive out and bring us their grease in a closed container that they're going to leave with us, and we actually send that off to be recycled, that grease off to be recycled and turned into biodiesel.
So a lot going on, but the first is the paper shred.
Yep.
So let's go back to that and just say, what are you expecting people to bring? What are good things for people to bring to that?
Some great things to bring would be any old financial documents that you don't want floating around out there, that you may not have a personal shredder at home. It's a great way to bring, if you're cleaning out some rooms and you just want to get that paper recycled but also shred it to keep that information safe.
Yeah, to guard against identity theft, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so do people, they just show up for this event?
Yes, it starts at 9 o'clock and goes until 2. And you'll drive in, and you won't even have to get out of your car. We'll take the boxes out and dump them in the shredder right there. You can watch them do it if you really want to be assure that your material is safe, and we'll shred it right on site, and then you get to drive off.
So you make it pretty easy for people.
Yeah.
We make it pretty easy, and we'll be the ones standing out in the cold. You don't even have to get out.
And that way you don't have to burn it, which of course is something that some
please
people
don't do that.
Yeah,
Please don't.
yeah, especially this
Thank
season we've had. Thank you. And coming next, if you like wine, we have an event to tell you about you won't want to miss. Kentucky wineries will be squaring off in the Commissioner's Cup Gala.
We'll tell you about the Commissioner's Cup Gala next.
Welcome back in. Great to have you along on WKYT. If you like wine, here's an event that you don't want to miss. Kentucky wineries will be squaring off in the Commissioner's Cup Gala.
Melanie Blanford with the Kentucky Department of Agriculture is here to tell us more about it. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me today.
It's a lot of fun when wineries really are competing for attention and this major award. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's an exciting competition that we have. We have it every year, and it's organized by the Kentucky Grape and Wine Council, the Kentucky Wineries Association, and then the Kentucky Department of Agriculture. And what makes it unique is only Kentucky commercial wineries can compete, and we bring in judges from the eastern part of the United States as well as from Kentucky, and they can be everything from sommeliers, academics, winemakers, retailers, a variety of different folks make up the judges panel.
And there are now so many wineries in Kentucky. It seems like every time you turn around, there's something new that's coming on in this industry. Very important to Kentucky.
It's very important to Kentucky, both from tourism as well as from the production and sale of the wines themselves. So this competition is unique in that the wines will be all judged blind by a panel of judges. They'll know the varietal make make of the wines. They'll know the alcohol content, sugar residue levels, etc., but they won't know the wine producers. So they'll judge them individually. There's 5 different categories. They'll award a Commissioner's Cup winner for each category. And yeah, so we'll have 5 total. So out of 200 entries, we'll have 5 Commissioner Cup winners.
So if you're able to lure judges in here from out of state, is Kentucky beginning to get a national reputation for its wine production?
It is. You know, we make a variety of wines here that are very exclusive to the region, and so both from, like I said, tourism as well as just those different popular varieties that are unique to Kentucky, it's becoming popular.
You know, this is a competition, but can anyone also come and watch what's going on, or do you just kind of look up for those results after the fact?
Well, the judging is a closed judge competition, but we do have a celebration on November 19th at 7 p.m. It's the gala. We invite the public to come out. They can taste these wines. We'll have Kentucky Proud food being served by Wiltshire Pantry. It's at the Speed Museum on November 19th at 7 o'clock, and folks can learn more about that gala at competition.kentuckywine.com.
Well, it sounds like a fun event and certainly a good competition, and I'm sure bragging rights for whichever winery
That's very
wins,
important,
right?
isn't it? Yes.
Absolutely.
Do they do that? I mean, if they win, do they then put up a sign somewhere and say, you know?
You betcha. I think they do.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you coming in. We
Thanks
really
so
do.
much. Thanks for having us.
Want to check in with Micah before we go this afternoon. We are expecting a potential frost in parts of the area tonight.
You're already seeing those temperatures in the 40s in some spots, so it's going to be pretty easy to actually get them to the 30s overnight, especially when those clouds clear on out. The clouds overhead right now, it's just a blanket over us, and that doesn't allow that sunshine to penetrate and really heat us up. We're 48 degrees right now here in Lexington. We'll finish off maybe 2, maybe 3 degrees higher than that, and that's about it. It's not going to warm up that much more. Down toward the south, we'll stay in the mid-50s. East and northeast, we're holding on to those 40s. Everybody, virtually everybody, is under that frost advisory. Remember, these are different areas for National Weather Services. Those are areas to the north. They will be under a frost advisory tonight into tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind. If you still have some plants you want to bring on in, you'll have to do that or cover them up, because this is going to be your widespread frost for tomorrow morning. But remember, this doesn't mean it's going to happen 100%. Just means the potential is there and the environment is right. So we're going to be watching that with that cold air rushing on in overnight and into tomorrow morning. This is a frost advisory, but we may even see, guys, a freeze warning later on this weekend.
All right. As I was saying earlier, be finding your scraper.
Yes, good news, though, for people who've suffered so much with the allergies this season.
That's the silver lining.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for WKYT News at noon. Our next newscast is at 4.
Have a great day.